Hi, it's Kristen. I finally finished the weight loss quilt. Who would have thunk it? If you don't know what the weight loss quilt is, there is a link above me or in the description to the post on my blog, as well as I've got a whole weight loss quilt video playlist because this has been going on since November last year. So this is a 13-month kind of exercise. It was meant to be 6 months. Anyway, if you watch the playlist, you'll get up to speed with all of that. For those of you who've been following along, last time I told you I was going to do a final push for November. I was going to track even if I didn't do exercise, and then I was going to finish the quilt, and I've done it. So I actually went a little bit past the end of November just because I wanted to finish the blocks at the end of the final row. But anyway, so I did do that. I didn't exercise the whole time, but I started out pretty good, had a little injury, then wasn't doing much, then kind of got back into it a bit. So, you know, same old mixed bag as before, but it's done now. And I decided to just whip through putting the last rows together. I really wanted to get this done before the end of 2022. It was just really hanging over my head. So I'm going to talk about the lessons that I'm going to take away from this in a minute, but I'll first show you kind of finishing it off. This was the quickest quilt I've ever made on the Moxie, which is the new long arm that I bought a few months ago. Previous to this, I've been like kind of overcomplicating my quilting probably. And this one, straight wavy lines, done in a couple hours, amazing. So I'll show you a little clip of that next. So this is real time, and the picture goes a bit fuzzy and not fuzzy because I had it, had the camera basically up on the frame, so I guess there's too much vibration from the Moxie, so sorry for that fuzzy picture. But basically all I'm doing here is wavy lines. Well, right here I'm basting the side of the quilt in this section, but otherwise all I did for the whole quilt was just do a wavy line back and forth horizontally across the quilt, and I let them overlap each other. There was no kind of set, you know, pattern to how many times they overlapped. I just kind of, I would get to the end, do a little loop, and then go back with another wavy line. And yeah, I think it looks nice. I think it's easy. Yeah, I really just wanted to get this finished. So I obviously could have made a meal out of it. I could have quilted every square differently or something like that. But for this quilt and for the sake of getting a finish, I think this was a good way to go. I did have some issues at the end with sort of basting the final row, and it went a little bit puckery. I'll show you some photos. And I chose to sort of try and handwrite with the Moxie my label, so I didn't have to make a label, so I could be finished that much quicker too. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the screen, but it basically says Kristen Hubert Weight Loss Quilt 2022 or something like that. And it's trying to hide a bit of puckering at the very last row. But I did learn some really good lessons, most of which I think I spoke about in the video, the last video I did about this, maybe, I think it was probably a month, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Basically, the big takeaway for me is not to take on some great big long weight loss challenge, project, anything like that. I need to break it down into smaller chunks and kind of go, what can I do to get me excited about exercising this month? So for January 2023, I'm going to be looking for what are people advertising for sort of January challenges and picking a short one that's going to get me more excited about moving. And then if I kind of fall off and I only do it for 2 weeks, then that's fine. Then just now what am I going to do in February? And so I might end up with, you know, a little bit more of a higher percentage over the course of a year of times when I'm excited about exercising, instead of starting something you're supposed to do every day forevermore, and then the second week that you're not doing it, oh well, what was that? Now I can't do anything. I've just failed. So that was a big takeaway that I have learned. So takeaways for anybody else, I suppose I would just say, you know, you got to just keep picking yourself up and trying new things until you find something that works for you. Have I cracked it? Probably not, but I'm feeling more positive that I've got a new tool going forward into 2023 to pick me up quicker from the times when I start to become a bit sedentary and inactive and stuff. I now know, okay, So the thing I was doing is boring now. I need to find something more fun to do to keep me moving. And that can be like a little mini challenge in itself. But your personality type might be different and you might need something else. You might need friends to go and work out with, or accountability buddies, things like that do my head in. I hate that stuff. Not that I hate hanging with my friends, but I don't do well with people kind of picking on me for things I haven't done. I'm much better at keeping myself accountable than kind of responding to other people telling me. So like a personal trainer, probably not for me, but for other people, amazing. So you just have to kind of learn what's going to work for you and your personality type, right? So if you did follow along with all of this, thank you for your patience and your kind words and your pick-me-ups when I was sounding a bit down and stuff. I'm very happy to have got it done. I'm trying to stay positive about the weight I have lost and not be moaning about the weight I didn't lose. And you know, onwards and upwards through 2023, hopefully. This was me at the start of the whole challenge. I have managed to lose a total of 26 pounds since November last year. Obviously, I was hoping for more like 40 or 50, but it's better than it was this time last year. So I can't be too upset about the whole exercise, I don't think. So I wanted to thank anyone who has been following along with this journey over time, and especially anyone who's been doing it with me and posting in the Facebook group. It's been great to see you there. If you are just learning about the Weight Loss Quilt now, all of the resources are still on the website. I'll put a link to the blog post in the description. You can go on and get the starter pack, which has the sort of tracking sheet and all the instructions about what all of these circles and colors mean. And you don't have to make yours orange and pink. That was just the colors that I chose. But that'll just stay up there. The Facebook group is still going to be up there, so you can go on and use that as much as you like. Thanks so much for spending time with me. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do hit the bell for notifications. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. And if you're looking for a shorter challenge, not 13 months, 4 weeks in January, and you didn't see my video from last week, I'm starting a Stash Buster Sew Along, and it's starting the 9th of January. There's going to be loads of options for different types of scrappy sewers, and we're going to make a fun, quick, no pressure quilt that hopefully is going to use up a bunch of your scraps. And I'm challenging you not to buy any fabric for it. So see how that goes. I hope you all have a lovely holiday period. I'm going to be posting my quilts in review for 2022. So all the quilts I made this year on, I think it's Boxing Day, the Monday after Christmas, whenever that is. And then I'll have, in the new year, probably my whips and UFOs and things like that. And then I'll be starting the scrappy sew along. So I hope to see you for all of that, and enjoy your time with family and friends. Bye.